Which European cities offer the best mix of low prices and quality of life, but nobody's talking about them? Can you imagine yourself living in this place for less than $1,000? I analyzed more than 200 European cities, comparing the cost of living, healthcare, and lifestyle to bring you this list. All the 8 names I will tell you have been handpicked after reviewing and talking to locals about things like affordability and quality of life. In these places, you find everything you need for less than the cost of rent in the US. So why settle for expensive, violent cities when these affordable gems are so much better? Ready? Because your ideal retirement could be waiting in one of these 8 amazing cities, and the next 20 minutes might be life-changing. So the first city is Águilas in Spain. And by the way, the list will be in alphabetical order, except for the last name, which I've saved as a surprise. So, ever heard about Águilas? If not, you are in for a pleasant surprise. This charming coastal town in southeastern Spain's often overlooked autonomous community of Murcia combines the tranquility of a small community with the beauty of the Mediterranean. With a population of around 35,000, it offers an intimate yet lively atmosphere that many expats and retirees find irresistible. Águilas has plenty of other advantages, starting with its stunning natural scenery. Places like La Playa Marida, Cuatro Calas, or the Playa de los Cocedores de Hornillo. We are talking about wonderful beaches, a warm summer, a mild winter, and a relaxed pace of life that makes each day feel like a retreat. The city also has plenty of attractions, so you can convince your friends and relatives to visit you very often. The Castillo de San Juan, perched high on a hill, offers panoramic views of the Mediterranean that are nothing short of breathtaking. Take a walk along the promenade, which hugs the coastline, and you'll find it's perfect for evening strolls or enjoying a quiet coffee while watching the world go by. If you're a fan of festivals, the Águilas Carnival is a must experience. This is what a local from Águilas told us. Open quote. People from Barcelona or Madrid usually look down on people from Murcia. It must be a Spanish insider joke, but my parents have lived happily there for 20 years now. You can probably find some of the country's most beautiful beaches there. There are beautiful nature parks for hiking everywhere. End quote. Now let's talk about what makes Águilas practical for retirees. Affordability with quality of life. Housing is affordable, and the low cost of living means you can enjoy a comfortable lifestyle without stretching your budget. There are many apartments for rent below 550 euros, just minutes from the beach. If you prefer to buy, and here is maybe the biggest surprise of this entire video, you can buy an entire detached house with sea view for only 100,000 euros, less than $112,000. For comparison, the cheapest property with a sea view in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, costs more than 2 times this price, and it's not a house, but a tiny studio. So in my opinion, in terms of cost-benefit, it's hard to find a coastal city in the US that can beat Águilas in Murcia. The next city on our list also starts with an A. Remember, the first 7 cities are in alphabetical order, except for the last one, which is a very special case, so keep watching. So next up is Annecy in France. And let me tell you, this place is straight out of a fairy tale. Nestled in southeastern France, near the Swiss border, it's lovely called the Pearl of the French Alps, and for good reason. The population here is about 130,000, and that number was somehow a surprise for me because the city looks smaller than that. And it's very, very walkable. At the heart of Annecy is the stunning lake with the same name, and crystal clear waters that seem to change shades depending on the light. You can swim there until early October, take a leisurely boat ride, or cycle along the lake's scenic paths. And let's not forget the majestic Alps surrounding the city. They offer hiking trails, skiing opportunities, and some of the most breathtaking views you'll ever see. There is an old town that could be in any postcard, and quaint canals winding their way through the area. There is also the Château d'Annecy, an imposing castle with rich history, or the Pont des Amours, a picturesque bridge with romantic views of the lake. Plus, it's close to Geneva International Airport, which is super convenient for international travel. And if you're into cultural events, you love the annual Annecy International Animated Film Festival, a must-see for film enthusiasts. This is what a resident of Annecy told us about the city. Open quote. I live in Annecy Center, and I really enjoy it because there is quite a bit more happening in Annecy than the smaller villages. This area has a reputation for being filled with rich old people, which is definitely true, but there are a good amount of families as well. Something that I like about this area is that in the summer, there are so many nice outdoor things to do, and it's the same for the winter. End quote. Now, here's the deal. Annecy is a little pricier than some of the other cities on this list. I'm not gonna lie, but you are paying for top-notch quality of life. It's safe, it's beautiful, and it's got a great atmosphere. There you can rent a 2-bedroom apartment for 1,170 euros per month, around $1,250. This is 21% less than what you would pay for a similar apartment in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. An important disclaimer about Annecy is that if you really want to get well integrated with the locals, it's imperative to learn some French. But don't worry, it's a very fun language to learn. In the description in the comment section, I have the link for a method I use to learn new languages. And with that link, you can try it for free, and if you subscribe, you get a 40% discount. Time to jump to the next city, and it's located in a country that I'm sure you expected to see in this list. Let me introduce you to Braga, a northern Portuguese gem with a fascinating blend of old world charm and modern conveniences. With a population of almost 150,000 people, this city has a rich history that stretches back to Roman times. It's no wonder it's often called the city of archbishops. Its religious and cultural roots run deep. I had been to Braga just 2 years ago, and I fell in love with so many things, including this delicious, wonderful, spectacular, outwardly pastel de bacalhau that is sold in this place right in the center of the city. Braga has also a treasure trove of attractions that are bound to leave you in awe. Take the Bom Jesus do Monte Sanctuary, for instance, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and a masterpiece of Baroque architecture. If you watched some of my other videos, probably you know how much I love Baroque, to the point that my wife is almost jealous of my admiration for Gian Lorenzo Bernini. Then there is the Braga Cathedral, the oldest in Portugal, another absolute masterpiece that I admired for hours. Sometimes viewers might ask why I talk so much about architecture in my videos about retirement abroad. It's because I'm a partisan of the idea that a good dose of beauty and aesthetic magnificence makes our life better, just like cinnamon in a sweet bomb. And this type of cinnamon is what you'll find in cities like Braga and neighboring cities like Barcelos or Guimarães. What makes Braga truly special, though, is its atmosphere. It's beautiful, clean, and very safe. And when you are ready to explore beyond Braga, you will appreciate its proximity to Francisco Sá Carneiro International Airport in Porto, less than an hour away and with destinations on multiple continents. Getting around Braga is a breeze. The city is compact enough to explore on foot or by bike, and its public transportation system is reliable and affordable. Another big draw of Braga is the cost of living. It's much easier on the wallet than Lisbon or Porto, yet it offers an equally rich lifestyle. Dining out there is a joy. Take for example the Tasquinha do Fujacão. Despite the funny name, this is one of the best restaurants in Braga. And there you can have a full meal with entry and beverages for less than 10 euros. However, Braga is not the warmest city in Portugal. Don't expect Algarve weather there. This is what a local told us. Open quote. Porto is cheaper than Lisbon, and Braga is cheaper than Porto. Porto and Braga are a lot safer than Lisbon, but also more rainy and cold. End quote. Now you might be asking about housing, right? Braga is the kind of city where you find plenty of housing options for less than 700 euros per month, less than $750. This is 30% cheaper than Memphis, Tennessee, so in Braga, you pay less to live in a much safer city than Memphis, and Braga has Baroque architecture. From Portugal, our fourth city is also in a place that you probably expected to see in this list, Greece, a country that we talk about so often in our videos due to the high quality of life and lower costs. And the city I wanted to present you is Castoria, a little piece of loveliness in northern Greece. Nestled along the shores of Lake Orestiada and surrounded by lush mountains, this town offers a tranquil lifestyle that feels miles away, both literally and figuratively, from Greece's busier tourist hotspots. With a population of just 35,000, it's the kind of place where you can truly unwind and soak in the beauty of nature. Castoria's charm lies in its historic neighborhoods like Dozzo and Aposari, where cobblestone streets wind past elegant Macedonian mansions. These traditional homes, with their intricate architecture and timeless appeal, tell stories of the city's vibrant past, and if you're into history, you are in for a treat. Castoria boasts over 70 Byzantine churches, many adorned with stunning frescoes that will transport you back in time. Of course, the lake is the heart and soul of Castoria. Whether you are bird watching in the wildlife-rich area or simply sitting by the water with a good book, it's impossible not to feel at peace there. The city is well connected by road, and it's only about a 2-hour drive to Thessaloniki, Greece's second largest city. From there, Thessaloniki Airport offers flights to major European destinations, so you are never too far from your next adventure. I made an entire video about how Thessaloniki is one of the best cities in Greece for expatriates. But if you're looking for affordable living, Castoria won't disappoint. It's among the cheapest cities in this list. Housing is budget-friendly, and the overall cost of living is modest compared to larger Greek cities. You can rent entire 3-bedroom apartments for 350 euros or less. This apartment, for example, is available for 300 euros, less than $320 monthly. This is less than what you would pay for a parking space in Boston in the US. Such a low price for such spectacular views sounds almost unbelievable. And since we are talking about beautiful views, the 50th city in our list delivers just that. Ljubljana, Slovenia. Imagine a capital city that doesn't feel overwhelming, noisy, and excessively accelerated, but instead feels like a nice neighborhood. That is Ljubljana for you. With a population of around 285,000 people, Ljubljana somehow manages to combine the energy of a capital with the friendliness and charm of a small town. It got it all. Stunning architecture, you know what I'm talking about by now. Plenty of green spaces, good infrastructure, and walkability, all without the stress and chaos you would expect in a big city. One of Ljubljana's biggest draws is its pedestrian-friendly Old Town, a car-free haven where you can wander to your heart's content. When I was there, I also enjoyed their cevapi, but I suspect the cooks were Bosnians actually. Anyway, try the cevapi, it's good. Running through the heart of Ljubljana is the Ljubljanica River, which adds to the city's laid-back vibe. Its picturesque banks are lined with cozy cafes and restaurants where you can enjoy everything from a morning espresso to a leisurely dinner under twinkling lights. A local told us that, open quote, Ljubljana is absolutely beautiful and one of the cleanest and safest cities in the world. A lot of great dining options and a sort of laid-back but very diverse nightlife and many cultural options. The level of spoken English is among the highest in the EU, and people are not as open and joyful as in Southern Europe, but are in general very hospitable and helpful as long as you are respectful. End quote. And let's not forget, Ljubljana is one of the greenest capitals in Europe, which means you are never too far from nature. Yes, it's a very calm city, and you might get bored. If you do, just travel 1 hour west to the Lake Bohini, and oh wow, you'll be in awe. I was. And I don't have words to describe how beautiful that place is. Now let's talk practicalities. Living in Ljubljana won't break the bank. Its cost of living is noticeably lower than many Western European capitals, although it's more expensive than other capitals from former Yugoslavia like Belgrade, Podgorica, or Sarajevo. A 2-bedroom apartment like this one is from 800 to 900 euros per month. Ljubljana, however, is not for those who want mild winters. It can get cold, but if you prefer mild winters or even warm winters, the next city on this list is the perfect place for you. Las Palmas de Gran Canaria, in Spain. The vibrant heart of the Canary Island, and it's a perfect place for those who hate VAT taxes. More about it in a few minutes. With a population of around 380,000 people, it's the largest city in Gran Canaria and offers a little bit of everything. From the vibrant energy of a bustling city to the tranquility of the sun-soaked seaside, Las Palmas has a unique charm that makes it an excellent choice for retirement. And just wait until you hear about this special tax regime. First, let's talk beaches. Because Las Palmas is home to Las Canteras, one of the best urban beaches in Europe, it's the kind of place where you can swim or simply take a stroll along its panoramic promenade. But Las Palmas isn't just about the ocean. The city's historic Vegeta district is brimming with colonial-era charm. Another highlight is the stunning Santa Ana Cathedral. Infrastructure is another strength of Las Palmas. In terms of healthcare, it's home to the University Hospital of Gran Canaria, ensuring top-notch healthcare in always within reach. For travel enthusiasts, Gran Canaria Airport is just 20 minutes away, offering flights to a wide range of European destinations. One of the most appealing aspects of returning to Las Palmas is the special tax regime, which offers significant financial advantages to expats. For example, imagine wealth tax. Spain does impose a wealth tax, but the Canary Island offers generous exemptions. For most retirees, the tax applies only to assets exceeding 700,000 euros, with an additional 300,000 euros exemption for your primary residence. This means a married couple owning a property valued at 1,300,000 euros would likely pay no wealth tax at all. Additionally, the Canary Islands benefit from lower tax rates overall, thanks to their status as a special economic zone (ZEC) within Spain. For example, the general indirect Canary Island tax, the local equivalent of VAT, is only 7% compared to mainland Spain 21% VAT. Owning property in Las Palmas is also appealing thanks to reasonable property taxes. The average Impuesto sobre Bienes Muebles, EBI or property tax, is typically 0.4 to 1.1% of the cadastral value, significantly lower than in many other European cities. This makes Las Palmas not just a sunny retreat, but also a smart financial move for retirees. Someone that lives in Las Palmas told us that, open quote, "Amazing place. I've spent a total of about a year there, very laid-back lifestyle, good internet, relatively cheap because of island taxes instead of mainland VAT, lots to see and do, only a ferry ride away from the other islands, and a cheap plane ticket to Europe." End quote. Let's say that with all these tax incentives, you want to purchase a property in Las Palmas de Gran Canaria, and your budget is 200,000 euros, which in Miami would barely be enough to buy a 380 square feet studio. But with that amount in Las Palmas, you can easily buy a 3-bedroom flat instead of a studio with 116 square meters or 1,248 square feet, more than 3 times larger than a studio in Florida. Impressive, right? As impressive, but less known, is the next city on our list, Varna. Welcome to Bulgaria's sea capital, where coastal charm meets affordability in one of the most vibrant cities along the Black Sea. With a population of around 335,000, Varna offers the perfect mix of low prices, good infrastructure, and beachside relaxation, an irresistible trifecta for those looking to make the most of their retirement. One of the city's standout features is its Sea Garden, a massive park that hugs the coastline. It's the ideal spot for morning walks, people watching at one of the quaint cafes, casual meetups over coffee, or simply enjoying the fresh air. Maybe you never heard about the city, but it has been an important regional center for a long time. The Varna Archaeological Museum has treasures dating back over 6,000 years. For those who love to travel, Varna Airport connects to numerous European destinations, and public transportation within the city is reliable and inexpensive, make it easy to get around without a car. An expat in Varna told us that, open quote, "It's overall a nice city, nice weather, huge sand beaches with a lot of small bars and clubs, a lot of greenery and parks in the city center." End quote. Another good point of Varna is its affordability. That is why it has become so popular among digital nomads and remote workers, for example. The city is also growing popularity among expats, which means newcomers will find a welcoming community of like-minded people. Housing is budget-friendly, dining out won't stretch our finances, and everyday expenses are refreshingly low compared to Western Europe. And differently than neighboring Romania, Bulgaria has much less restrictions on foreigners buying property. Imagine that you want to buy a property there, and your budget is just $95,000. This is the price of a parking spot in Boston, Massachusetts. But in Varna, with that budget, you can buy an apartment at the Golden Sands Sea Resort with a parking space included. So for the price that in Boston you buy only the parking, in Varna you buy an apartment in a resort with the parking included. To be better than that, just if they offered a continuous supply of Kamenita beer delivered to your door every month. Bulgarian real estate agents take note. If you are seeking a retirement that offers a slower pace of life without sacrificing culture, amenities, or affordability, Varna is a destination worth considering. So far, we have been presenting all the cities in this list, in alphabetical order. But now, for the last one, I decided to break this rule because this is, by far, the most interesting city in this list. Before we talk about it, I would like to ask a small favor. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Now, time to talk about Capurso, in the metropolitan region of Bari, in Italy. Capurso is a charming little town in Italy's Apulia region that is as picturesque as it's peaceful. It has fewer than 20,000 residents, and in a few seconds, you will discover why this magic number is the best thing about the city. Capurso offers a slice of small-town tranquility while being less than 10 kilometers from the bustling city of Bari, a regional capital with everything you need. Capurso's charm lies in its historic ambience and slower pace of life. At its heart is the Basilica of Santa Maria del Pozzo, a stunning religious site that attracts visitors from across the region. The town's charming narrow streets and peaceful piazzas create an ambience of timeless Italian life, or more specifically, Apulian life. It's a place where you can live at your own pace, visiting the local markets or sitting down to a simple but delicious meal at a family-run trattoria. And it has less than 20,000 residents. 20,000. For those who dislike paying high taxes like me, it's a magic number in this case, because Capurso has a particularly enticing feature: Italy's special tax scheme for smaller towns. If you transfer your foreign pension to southern Italy and settle in a municipality with fewer than 20,000 residents, like Capurso, you could qualify for a flat 7% income tax rate on your pension income. No country in Western Europe offers you such a low income tax rate on your foreign pension, regardless of your nationality. Combine this with the town's already low cost of living, and you've got a huge financial win-win. You will pay lower taxes, but you also pay less for nearly everything, like housing, for example. In this city, you can buy an elegant 3-room apartment with 100 square meters, more than 1,000 square feet, for 133,000 euros. This is just $140,000, and it's located in a calm but still very central part of the town. So you can buy a nice home for half of the price of the US in probably the most beautiful country in the world and still pay low taxes. Mind-blowing. But if you're worried about the fact that Capurso has just 15,605 residents, here is another good news. Despite its size, Capurso is very well connected. The proximity to Bari ensures that you are never far from urban amenities. Bari offers all the needed infrastructure from international healthcare facilities and shopping centers to theaters and restaurants. It is also a travel hub with an international airport and a busy port that open up countless possibilities for trips around Italy and beyond. And when you are in the mood for a day by the sea, stunning destinations like Polignano a Mare and Monopoli are nearby. These picturesque towns, with their dramatic cliffs and crystal clear waters, make it for a memorable day trip. Apulia is the kind of place where life feels uncomplicated yet fulfilling. It offers the tranquility of a small town setting without isolating you from modern conveniences. It is, however, very much recommended that you learn some Italian, which is a relatively easy language to learn, so not a big problem. Now, Italy is not the only place in Europe offering a special tax regime to attract expats who want to retire abroad. Greece has a very similar initiative, and it's really difficult to decide between those two countries. That is why I made a comparison between them, considering factors that nobody considered before, and arrived to an expected answer about which is the best for expats seeking retirement overseas: Greece or Italy. To discover the answer, check this video here on your left.